Jim, before we get to the big review of, I was about to say Forbidden Door, Clash in Paris, I believe is the name. Wanted to play you some audio. A ton of people have been sending it over. Want to get your thoughts. Have you heard about Mr. T's daughter?
I didn't have anything to do with it. What happened to her?
Mr. T's daughter is a comedian. Her name is Erica.
Well, then wouldn't it be comedian?
A comedian, Erica Nicole Clark. And I just saw, as everyone else,
that's an unwieldy name. It's very long. Erica Nicole Clark was Mr. T. I thought he was Mr. T, not Mr. C. Was his last name Clark? What was this, a second marriage? What's going on here with this woman? I haven't heard of.
Again, I don't know why you're focusing on all this, but let's talk about before you rip her down for her name and everything else here. Some of her stand-up has gone out there, and it involves wrestling. So a lot of the listeners have wanted to get your thoughts on it, knowing that you love comedy and of course you love wrestling. We'll stop this along the way and talk about it. But here's Mr. T's daughter, Erica Nicole Clark.
My dad is Mr. T. Mohawk culture. Most people think I'm lying when I say that, but I'm like, why would I pick him? Like, who the fuck is lying about Mr. T, right? And I grew up in the 80s and 90s, so either everyone believed me or no one believed me. Like, there was no in between. I grew up in a very wealthy neighborhood, so everybody believed me there, because they were like, why the fuck else is your black ass here, right? Like, well, when I was a kid, we lived on the south side of Chicago, and like, I get it. Like, I'm a black girl at an all-black school, and I'm trying to explain to my friends that the reason why they've never seen my dad before is because he's doing WrestleMania with Hulk Hogan, right? Like, everybody was like, shut the fuck up, Erica, right? And
let me stop it there for a moment. Any initial thoughts?
She's funny, first of all. And secondly, that has to be true. One would think.
Yeah.
If, she's at some ritzy school or whatever. Where's your dad? Well, he's off he's Mr. T. Bullshit.
Let's go back to this. And this is from her Instagram, I believe. Erica Nicole Clark.
Those were the teachers, right? So I got this complex, and this is for real. My friends will tell you, or like people I meet. If I'm on stage, I'll talk about my dad, but I never tell people like who my dad is or like stuff I've seen, because no one ever believes me, and they like really don't. Like, I will give you an example, like, because like when I was in kindergarten, first grade, like kids kind of like ostracized me and wouldn't talk to me because I was like little lion ass Erica, like they didn't believe me. And so this one weekend, all right, I'm telling you guys this, don't tell anybody the story, but this one weekend, went to this WrestleMania event with my dad, and he was partners with Hulk Hogan, right? And my dad, it was the first time I was seeing wrestling live, right? So my dad's like, don't worry about it, it's fake. He's telling me, I have a sister who's 8 years older than me. He's like, oh, don't worry about it, it's all fake, whatever, blah, blah. And he's in this wrestling match with this guy named Roddy Piper. Do you guys know who that is? Okay. And
let me stop it there for a second.
Hey.
Any thoughts on him smartening up his kids?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't really expect Mr. T to have the deep, abiding respect for the wrestling business that he was just being in as a publicity stunt to not tell his kids that, the other guys are not trying to beat him up. I wouldn't expect any different. But I like when he's at a WrestleMania event, like everything he was at was WrestleMania. TV, the whatever that she may have gone with, but no, I don't expect him to keep the business secrets safe from his children there.
And by the way, it may have been WrestleMania if it's about Mr. T teaming up with Hulk Hogan against Roddy Piper.
Well, yeah, I mean, whether whether she went to any of the other functions with them where they were doing whatever the fuck, but
let's go back to the story.
But also Piper, that's not a wrestling crowd, right? But Piper got a pop.
Yeah. Again, they live still as a cult following. But let's go back to Erica Nicole Clark.
And it's another dude or whatever, right? So my dad gets into the ring, and immediately Roddy Piper flips my dad in a way, and he cracks my dad's ribs, right? So my dad has to go to the emergency room, right? So me and my sister are crying, whatever. They take my dad to the ER. They bring him back he comes back to the hotel room. He's all bandaged up. And like Hulk Hogan's in our hotel room, and Hulk Hogan's doing like lines of cocaine, right? And he still has the yellow shorts on, right? And he's like, T, I'm gonna fuck him up when I see, I swear to God, I'm gonna fuck him up. And my dad's just like, oh God, my ribs hurt so badly, right? And then there's a knock at the door, and it was Roddy Piper, right? And he goes, hey, T, I'm real sorry about what happened. And Hulk Hogan's like, fuck that, and grabs Roddy Piper and brings him into the hotel room, throws him against the wall, smashes the mirror. They're beating him. My dad's trying to break it up. Hulk Hogan's wife, Linda's there, and she's like, Terry, stop, right? And I'm like, wow, I didn't know that was his name, right? So, and my mom is trying to make my dad stop, and they're just beating, and all this stuff is flipped over and shit like that. Me and my sister are crying, and then we get on a plane. We come back to Chicago. I go to class. We're sitting in a sharing circle, and the teacher's like, what'd you do this weekend? And I was like, not a fucking thing. All right. I was there in Clark. Thanks.
Well, there it is. There's her, the closer of her set. What do you think of that story? What do you think of her delivery?
Well, her delivery is great. Like I said, she's funny. She got the timing and the blah, blah, blah. But I feel like I'm critiquing one of Paul Heyman's stories. Now we're faced with the choice of believing that she made it up for entertainment purposes, or all these guys decided to do an angle in front of Mr. T's family specifically to scare his children. I have to believe that it's made up for entertainment purposes.
Really? What makes you say that?
Did they jerk him into and throw him up against the wall and start breaking mirrors and beating on him?
Would Hulk Hogan or anyone who was closely working with Vince McMahon at that point in 1985, or we're talking about the period around the first WrestleMania, would they have been legitimately upset if, much like David Schultz going after Mr. T in LA, if someone actually hurt him and possibly scared him away?
Well, if it was some fucking jack-off, but no, not Piper, not the people that were involved in the goddamn... No, they didn't get in a fight in a hotel room for a legitimate shoot, which is what she's describing, or one would think felt the need to work an angle just in front of Mr. T's children. And was it, and actually, I don't honestly remember, but I'm wanting to believe that Mr. T, if he did end up with cracked ribs, wasn't that from the goddamn boxing match that he and Piper had a year later at 86? Or did he have cracked ribs there, or was he just blown up and ready to puke?
Just about every time we saw him, he was blown up. So I don't know when the cracked ribs would have been, but obviously if you have cracked ribs, that would cause you to, at a minimum, blow up in the match.
Well, but again, regardless, no, if none of the boys would have taken Mr. T's side against Roddy Piper, even if Mr. T did end up with cracked ribs or whatever, which again, I think this is an entertainment story based on real events.
Because we've never heard the idea that Hulk Hogan slapped around or did anything to Roddy Piper. And it was always heat between the two because Piper refused a job to him ever. Like there was never.
Well,
anything.
there was that old fashioned wrestling heat that there was like between a lot of the top guys in a few different territories and between Thez and Rogers, etc. That didn't mean that they ever had any actual legitimate physical issue that wasn't in a worked situation. There could still be heat.
You know who could maybe answer if this happened or not? Linda Hogan.
Oh, well, they're the soul of veracity. If she says it, I believe it. You can notarize her tongue. It's been out in the sun. It's been out in the sun long enough. Probably somebody already has.
So Hogan's still in his trunks and he's doing cocaine. Linda's there. Mr. T's kids are there just watching Hulk Hogan do cocaine. And then Piper knocks on the door to apologize. I mean, that's typically what would happen if a wrestler accidentally hurt another wrestler.
Yes, they'd wait until everybody brought the TV star and his kids into the cocaine party before they'd come in and publicly apologize.
Do we add this to the Hulk Hogan omnibus, or is this a separate thing because it's not really his story? This
might be like a sidecar. This might be like, well, is this one of the tour guides recreating a famous incident at a theme park type of thing? We'll make it Hulk Hogan adjacent.
Well, we'll see what more, if anything, emerges about this story. Probably nothing. But there it is, Mr. T's daughter, the comedian.